In the last unboxed video, we featured this walnut stocked X-Bolt 2 Hunter Series rifle. Today, we're unboxing its little brother, who's not as classy as Big Brother back there, but is definitely more flexible. Kind of like my little brother. May be able to run faster and jump higher, but I am way better looking. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. While I'm thinking of it, real quick, if you don't mind doing me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It truly helps more than you know. Really more than I know also. I'm just told it helps the algorithm or something, gets this channel in front of more people. I'm not sure. But if you don't mind hitting that subscribe button, I would truly appreciate it. All right, let's get into the unboxing. Inside this box, I have the Browning X-Bolt 2 Hunter Composite. Let's dive right in. All right, let's get in to this box here. Styrofoam right on top to protect your investment here. Right on top, we've got a packet of literature. Inside here, you've got your X-Bolt 2 manual. You will have a registration card where you can register it with Browning, your warranty, all that good stuff. You'll have a postcard to join the NRA, and I think that's about it. All right, we got our receiver lock, so you can lock your firearm up. All right. Now, this one has more accessories than the X-Bolt 2 Hunter. So we've got, let me pull out the rifle. All right, here's your rifle. There it is, that's the X-Bolt 2 Hunter. So there are some accessories inside here that come with it. Magazine is already in it. Okay, so you have, I'm gonna set this down. Inside the box here, the X-Bolt 2 Hunter, you have a second grip. We'll talk about that in the features here shortly. So depending on what kind of grip you like, we've got an extra one here. We'll talk about that in just a second. We've got some shims in here to adjust our stock, which we'll talk about here in a little bit during the features. What else do we have? We'll talk about this in the features also. This one comes with a muzzle brake, threaded barrel. So you've got a thread cap if you wanted to take off the muzzle brake. So that's in there. And the last thing, no. There's an Allen wrench to adjust the shims in here, which we're going to talk about. Actually, it adjusts another thing in here that we're going to talk about. And then here is the bolt. All right, I'm going to get this thing put together. We're going to go through some of the features. Before I get into the features of the X-Bolt 2 Hunter Composite, let's run through the available calibers. So this rifle is available in .243 Winchester, 6.5 Creedmoor, which is the rifle I have here, .308 Winchester, 6.5 PRC, 6.8 Western, 300 Winchester short mag, 270 Winchester, 30-06, 7mm Rem mag, 7mm PRC, 300 Win mag, 300 PRC, and 280 Ackley improved. So before I get into all the features here, I want to make note that this X-Bolt 2 Hunter Composite is the TCB version. So it's the tungsten Cerakote bolt. It also has a Cerakote finish on the muzzle brake and the trigger guard. It's the only thing that's different from the standard X-Bolt 2 Hunter Composite. So the bolt would look like on the regular Hunter up here. Really the only thing different. So with that difference, in the TCB version of this rifle, the 280 Ackley improved is not available. That's it. All right, let's dive into the features. Like all X-Bolt 2 rifles, the Hunter Composite has a reconfigured receiver with additional bolt guidance surface for a smoother operation. The redesigned bolt has spiral fluting, which looks great, and an ergonomic handle shape. The bolt unlock button allows you to load and unload your rifle while it's still on safety. The short 60-degree bolt lift is fast cycling and clears for large optics. Since I mentioned the scope, the X-Lock scope mounting system uses 4 screws per base for a rock-solid attachment to the receiver. We've got an easy-to-reach top tang safety. The adjustable multi-lever DLX trigger is set at 3.5 pounds from the factory. You can turn it down to 3 pounds, but as I mentioned with the X-Bolt 2 Hunter behind me, I leave it at the factory setting. It feels good straight from the factory for hunting situations. Just slowly add that pressure and it's a clean break. I really like the trigger. The Sporter Contour barrel has a non-reflective matte blue finish. One difference you'll notice in the barrel of the Hunter Composite versus the standard Hunter behind me, the Hunter Composite has a threaded barrel. It comes with a thread protector and a muzzle brake included, but if you have a bigger caliber, a Magnum caliber option, it will accept the recoil hog muzzle brake system. Again, I already talked about it. This is the TCB version, the tungsten Cerakote finish on the bolt and muzzle brake, as well as the trigger guard. We have the 1 1/4 inch Inflex recoil pad on the butt end of the standout feature of this rifle, the Veritech stock. This stock can be configured to fit almost any shooter from a youth hunter to the largest framed adult. We have an adjustable comb or cheek piece on the Veritech stock that can be adjusted using the included Allen key. It just slides into the butt end here. You'll find the screw inside. We'll loosen that up and you can adjust this cheek piece to match and help you get a good cheek weld and eye alignment for your scope. So no matter what size scope you have on here, this comb will adjust enough to give you that consistent form. The length of pull on the Veritech stock is adjustable. This is where I was talking about from a youth shooter with short arms to the largest framed adult. By using the shims that are included, we can remove the end of the butt stock, add these shims to make a longer length of pull. Another great feature with the Veritech stock is the adjustable grip. Installed from the factory is the Sporter grip, but if you like a more vertical grip, you have that option as well. You simply take the stock off the receiver and with one screw you can change these out. So for me, it depends on the style of hunting that I'm doing, whether I like the vertical grip or the Sporter grip. If I'm shooting off sticks or if I'm moving a lot, I do like the Sporter grip, but if I'm shooting off a bench primarily, then I'm going to change it to the vertical grip, but you have that option. Everything combined, you can fit this rifle specifically to you, providing you with the best chance for repeatable form and consistent accuracy. But you will need a few more items to get this rifle ready to shoot. Here's what you need. Obviously, you'll need some ammo. You'll also need a scope and a system to mount the scope to the rifle. Options are a separate scope base and scope rings, or a combination system like the integrated scope mounts from Browning, which is what I'm using for this rifle. If you have concerns about the scope and selecting the right one, I did a video on how I find the right scope for the purpose of a particular rifle. I'll put a link to that somewhere on here so you can check it out if you like. Now, the scope I chose for this rifle probably isn't my first choice. As a matter of fact, I know it's not, but I'm mainly doing it for y'all because I haven't found much about this scope on here. This is the Leupold VX Freedom 4-12x40 with a Creedmoor reticle. How it works is the reticle has holdover marks that are calculated using ammo that falls into a ballistic range, which is a pretty wide range. When you zero the rifle at 200 yards, the first holdover will be for 300 yards, the second holdover 400 yards, and the last for 500 yards. I'm very interested to see how accurate this system is. We'll find out soon enough, so be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. I appreciate y'all sticking around, and we'll see you next time.